Hi, and welcome to Indigo Starfire. My name is Bevin, and in this reading, I'm going to be doing a channeled love letter from your secret admirer. So there are 3 groups to choose from. Group 1 is this letter, Group 2 is this letter, and Group 3 is this letter. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and fill whichever group, maybe multiple groups or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to. I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps in the description box of the video for each group if you'd like to jump ahead, which I do recommend using so that you can skip over me shuffling cards in between groups to clear the energy of the group I've just read for and tap into the energy of the group I'm about to read for. So again, I'll give you a minute. Please use the timestamps and we'll get into your reading. Hi, Group 1. You chose this letter, which I will read in just a minute. This will be the love letter from your secret admirer. I want to start with some tarot to dig into some clues about who this person is. Maybe you know them, maybe this is someone you don't know yet, but just a little bit about them. Okay, so we have the 5 of Swords, which is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. The Knight of Swords, so more air energy. 2 of Pentacles, which is earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. Death, which is Scorpio. Ace of Pentacles, so more earth energy. And 2 of Cups, which is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. So I'm really drawn to kind of all this masked energy. Death in this deck is wearing a mask, along with the figure here in the 2 of Pentacles has a mask on, and then also this helmet in the Knight of Swords. So this feels to be like somebody that you don't know, you're not familiar with this person. They're definitely watching from the shadows. I'm drawn to this swords energy as well here, as far as somebody who may be watching you online. So this can be if you have a social media presence where you post content. This can be somebody who is a follower, who is a subscriber, somebody who you have caught their attention in that capacity, and they may be watching you from a distance. They may have commented on things, or there's been like a little bit of exchange back and forth between the 2 of you up to this point possibly, but it feels like something with this 5 of Swords where they're very guarded, they're very secretive, very protective. There's very little that they have made known at this point in time. So this is like literally a secret admirer. You may be aware of them just through an avatar that they use, possibly even. It doesn't really feel like someone who would have gone to the extent to create a fake account to watch you. This doesn't feel like anybody that you have a romantic history with, although that is certainly within the realm of possibility with the idea of death, like a situation that has come to an end, with the 2 of Cups, this kind of soulmate energy. So it is possible that this is someone from your past who, again, has created like this, like a fake profile, an avatar that they're operating from to sort of watch you from afar. to observe things that you post, content and whatnot, or even something where if it's not a fake account, it's like a private account, so they're not necessarily subscribing, following, commenting, liking, anything like that, but from the vantage point of this kind of online profile, they are nonetheless watching you, seeking you out, sort of following up on things, checking in. It feels like something where this person has gone back and forth about wanting to come out of the shadows up to this point in time. They may have kind of just made very sort of surface level moves toward you. This can even be something where maybe they've just subscribed, they've followed. If it is someone from your past, maybe they've unblocked your account, for example. Something that's like a small gesture that's made, but it's nothing very substantial that reveals kind of these deep feelings that they have, this interest that they have. This is, again, very much masked, cloaked, guarded. This may be someone who's very kind of reserved with their words, but they have a lot that they want to say. This feels to be like they're building up the courage, almost working up the nerve to come out of this shadowy energy, to approach you. If this is someone that you have no history with, they feel a deep bond to you, this very kind of unconscious, like a magnetization in your direction that may be causing them to be a bit guarded or standoffish about it because it's really caught them off guard. It was very unexpected. It feels like this is somebody with this huge pentacle here with the Ace of Pentacles. They may be somebody who in general is very grounded, very cautious by nature. Perhaps this is just part of their personality or something developed over time, kind of the stage that they are at in their life. Maybe somebody who is recovering from heartbreak, trying to pick up the pieces from that. And so they really weren't looking to catch feelings for anybody. And so there's almost like this energy of trying to kind of push that away, stuff that down, or suppress that in some manner. A little bit of uncertainty within themselves about if they're kind of ready to make that investment. They feel something very substantial towards you and it feels worth exploring. But again, there's like this cautious energy here, wanting to bring forth something, but that is practical. Somebody who's very content to kind of push these feelings aside, remain just observing from the distance, almost like having an escape route should things become too intense. It feels like at times they're almost like leaning in towards you, paying a lot of attention, and then they may sort of withdraw their energy, look elsewhere, like periods of time where they're almost checking in on you and sort of engorging themselves on whatever's been posted. So if you have like regular social media content that you post, this may be somebody that has set up boundaries for themselves, restrictions for their self, where they're binge watching you once a week, for example, or they're trying very hard to kind of remain focused on sort of their material world, what they have going on. They're not allowing themselves to fully sort of open up to this, to explore this, and yet at the same time they're very much pulled in your direction. They may possibly, with the Two of Pentacles, have something else going on in their life, some other connections, somebody that they're talking to, somebody they are in a relationship with, or, just somebody that they have invested a lot of time and energy into, that you've really caught them by surprise. Their feelings for you have caught them by surprise, caught them off guard. And so they may be kind of weighing their options as far as, do they want to kind of open the door to this situation and, invest, like who to invest with, basically. This feels like somebody who is very ethical in nature with this Knight of Swords. This is somebody who's very truthful and wants to be above board with everything. And so it's this energy almost of holding back until they feel in a place of readiness within themselves, or maybe even, again, some kind of other situation that they're in the process of putting an end to, getting over, maybe even just somebody that they are, casually talking to, they're seeing someone else, but they don't really feel like it's appropriate in this circumstance to kind of bring you into the mix in this situation. And so kind of a little confusion at this point in time about like who to invest with, what sort of, energies are they wanting to commingle with in their world, in their reality. This can be somebody who is in the process of almost trying to rebuild their life in some manner after something has ended. Maybe some significant relationship has come to an end, and so their full focus, their main priority at this point in time is establishing themselves, creating more of a solid foundation, more of a base for themselves, picking up the pieces off of whatever this ending was in their life. And again, You've caught their attention. You've almost caught them by surprise in this sense. So they're kind of like fighting off this urge to move towards you. A lot that they want to say and want to reveal, but it's almost this essence of that prudence is required here, that the timing's just not necessarily right, or there's a lot that they need to consider and evaluate as far as, are they willing to sort of open the door to their heart once again? Are they ready to sort of take that chance? Are they ready to give something, to make some kind of an offer? Whatever they feel or sense from you, there's this almost this feeling that it's something that could turn into a very significant, situation, connection. Obviously, if it's somebody from the past, and this is this idea of like wanting to rebuild, wanting to start over, wanting to see if you guys can try again, but not necessarily sure if that's viable, if they're ready, if the time's right. If it's somebody new, a complete secret admirer, somebody you're really not familiar with, you don't know them, you have no romantic history, then it's, obviously at this point in time, it's a little too early to say like this could be the one. But these two cards right here are really giving that indication that what they feel for you is this very strong draw that, hey, this would be something very significant. If you open this door, if you invest in this situation, this isn't just going to be like a casual back and forth. This is something that could be a very impactful connection, regardless of what that develops into, however long or short of a duration whatever might develop between you becomes. It's something that will be meaningful. It's something that they would remember. This is something that they're just sensing at the soul level that this is big. This has the makings of being something significant. This is more than just like your average crush, for example, which might kind of lend into why they are almost feeling torn about this, feeling the need to kind of hold back, feeling most comfortable in kind of the shadowy energy at this point in time, but yet this urge to kind of express something, to open that door, to, make some kind of a declaration, to try to get to know you on some level, tangibly in kind of the physical world and on sort of mundane level, but then also wanting to explore sort of this dimension of romance, not just wanting to be friends with you, but feeling the need almost to start very small, start from scratch, build their way from there, but a little bit of almost uncertainty as far as how to do that at this point. So they're just sort of staying hidden at this point in time. So I'm going to read the letter from this person now, and we'll see, what does your secret admirer want you to know, group one. I am dizzy with the possible scenarios I want to unfold with you that dance through my mind. You caught my attention immediately, and without meaning to, I found myself holding you in a tender place inside. I don't want to overwhelm you with the depth of what pulls me towards you daily, so I am waiting patiently until I feel more in control of my emotions and better prepared to endure the sting should you not feel the same way as I do. I am very still so as not to let you or anyone know what is running concurrent to my ordinary thoughts and discussions. I have leapt into the fire of love before and have emerged worse for wear. I will not make that mistake again. I am prone to idealism, and it is important to carefully allow what I have to tell you to germinate into what it will at a comfortable pace. Sometimes you say things and it's like you're reading my mind. I am gathering these signs and piecing together the story of how important my next move towards you will be. You are unlike anyone I have encountered before, and I want to get to know you better. You already, in your own way, have added such magic and perspective to my life, and I am hopeful about what moving closer to you will develop into with time. So I'm going to get some initials for you, and this can be a first, middle, or last name, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Got Z, E, S, D, K, M, and N. So those are your messages, and that is your channeled love letter, Group 1. I hope that everything resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. And I'm running a sale in my Etsy shop now through the end of the month of February. Everything's marked down 15%, and I don't often run sales, so if you've been thinking of making a purchase, placing an order with me, now would be the time to do that. I've also launched a second channel here on YouTube. It's called Lady of the Dawn Tarot, and there's a link in the description box as well as in the channel section of my page for that. The format there is a little different from here. I do pick-a-cards and general energy check-ins, but the subject matters that I cover there are related to spirituality, wellness, ascension, and self-love. So if any of that sounds interesting, I invite you to check that channel out. I thank you for your support over there as well as for your continued support here on this channel. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 2. You chose this letter, which I will read in just a minute. I'm going to start with some tarot to get some clues about who your secret admirer is, if this is someone that you're already aware of or someone who is a complete mystery to you. Okay, we have the Lovers, which is Gemini. Four of Wands, which is fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Six of Pentacles, which is earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. Strength, which is Leo. Five of Pentacles, so more earth energy. And 10 of Cups, water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. So this is definitely somebody who feels a very strong kinetic attraction to you. They may consider you to be a counterpart, a soulmate, a twin flame. Even if they are not familiar with this terminology, it is this idea of being deeply magnetized towards you. You represent wish fulfillment for them in a lot of ways in terms of what they've been able to sense from you. A lot energetically exchange between the two of you. With this Four of Wands here, this 1111 card, a sense of when they first became aware of you, something within them just clicked, that you are almost like what they've been looking for, essentially. This may definitely be an opposites attract circumstance here. There could be some kind of an age difference, culture difference, you know, just anything between the two of you, religion, you know, background, lifestyles, just all of that. It's like the odd couple is what's coming through, that on the surface this is somebody who might be outside of the normal kind of social circles that you run in, Maybe you're somebody who's very much, kind of an introvert. You might sort of keep your own company. And then this could be somebody who is very much in the spotlight. There's someone who's very well known. They may have a very gregarious personality, a substantial sort of presence in the world. This feels like somebody who is very inclined toward reciprocity with kind of this Five of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles, equal give and take here. They see, as far as what they've been able to observe, that you almost, it's like a yin-yang energy. You possess a lot of the qualities and strengths that are, not necessarily their finest attributes, and vice versa. They really sense that the two of you could bring a lot of balance to one another from what they're aware of about you at this point in time. There's an idealism and like an element of fantasy here with this Ten of Cups, and even with sort of this this scene here on this particular Four of Wands card that is indicating that they may be very much aware of you in the material world, but a lot of what has kind of happened, developed between the two of you at this point, it just exists largely in the energetic realms. You may be very much aware of one another in that sense with these two kind of cards of balance here. Energetically, you're both familiar with one another's presence, but that as far as what this person sort of intends, what they want out of this situation, a lot of that is in fantasy. And if you've had exchanges in the material world up to this point in time, this is almost bringing to mind, like in passing, somebody that you deal with in passing. You may have met them on like a surface level, but there's so much more beyond the words that they've spoken to you. There's a lot of love and attraction that they're like holding back at this point in time. It's bringing to mind this idea of almost like two different worlds. So this could be somebody that's at a distance from you. It's almost bringing to mind like goods and services. So this could be something where maybe this has been a client of yours at some point in time. You've been a client of theirs in some capacity. There's been an exchange, like an energy exchange already between the two of you. They've paid for something that's then been rendered, again, like a good or a service. Maybe this is somebody who came to you with something that they commissioned, something for you to make or something for you to produce for them, or vice versa. And it was almost like this attraction, something deeper than what was almost like the mundane or ordinary nature of your interactions with them. Like they came to you with one thing in mind, and through kind of, you may have like existed at a distance from them, almost like it's bringing to mind like a name in a phone book almost, or something that they were really seeking out, something that they had looked for or come across. So this might even be some kind of like an online merchant. So something that you purchased, from afar. You've had interactions with each other, but it's from like these two different worlds. Like there's been an energy exchange, but it doesn't necessarily feel to be face to face. You've conversed, via email, maybe over text. It doesn't even feel like phone call. It doesn't feel like you're aware of each other's voices even, but there's been this exchange here, and it's almost something really stirred and awakened within them that was very unexpected. It caught their attention at that point in time, and to where, you've maybe then moved forward, or this could be vice versa, where this is something, you purchased or you commissioned from this person, and you've then gone on about your life. They've continued to be very fascinated with you, have sought you out in some manner, have continued to kind of watch your progress or watch your evolution. If you have some kind of an online business, for example, they may have come to you in kind of the early days when you were just getting started, maybe some kind of online presence, social media presence, something that you were really building within your life. Or this is someone that may have known you or known of you for like a period of time. They've almost watched your evolution. They've watched your ships come in some manner. They've watched you really come into your own. So this may be someone, again, that you had kind of this in passing connection with, in the relatively, it feels like relatively recent past. This isn't someone like from the distant past who's been just admiring from afar for a while, but they really may have met you at kind of like, or encountered you at sort of a pivotal turning point in your life when you were starting to get established, and they've watched you create this stability for yourself. Or even something where, if this is like a good or a service that you provide, they may have obtained something like that from you in kind of the early days at a period of time that was a bit in the past, and then, you know, they sense have kind of like come back for, you know, another, whatever it is that it is you produce or you sell or you give or you provide. And they've almost watched you again kind of come into your own, come into this place of balance. They see you as somebody very much in alignment with your life's purpose. So whatever you might relate your life's purpose to, whether that's what you do for a living or something that you just invest in, you spend your time with on the side, they are really, that feels like a connection point to this individual, how they are aware of you. Then in the time that they've kind of come back around, they've come around for, to order something else from you, to request something else, to commission something else from you. They've really, you know, they've seen you like come into your own in some manner. You've strengthened in some way. They're seeing you now in this place of stability, and it's almost like they've watched your progress in some manner. So it feels like they've been watching from afar for quite some time. Maybe even kind of just, again, sort of casual dealings that you're having with one another. You may be in very similar lines of work, similar businesses, almost like colleagues, but it doesn't feel like there's a work connection necessarily where you're with each other. It's almost just people in kind of like a similar field, similar kind of community, similar sort of interests or goals that you have, to where as they've watched this evolution within you, it's almost filled them with more and more of these kind of like these signs or the certainty, this nudge within that they can't keep their eyes off of you. They feel so drawn to you. They feel this very special and unique bond with you. Something within them just kind of like pulls them in your direction, makes them want to invest in this situation. This may be something where you've really kind of awakened something within this person. If they were feeling it sort of a lack, kind of a loss in terms of love and partnership, maybe they had just made the decision to kind of focus on, you know, their pentacles, focus on their own kind of abundance, on their own well-being, you know, sort of leaving love and romance and partnership sort of off to the wayside and concentrating on other things. It feels like your presence, your emergence in their life has stirred something within them. You've awakened something within this person that has been dormant or was lacking for quite some time. And that this is almost like what fascinates them about you. They're very drawn to you. A lot of attention that is being placed upon you. Trying to hold themselves back though, trying to be strong and be very, very stoic, not get caught up in this fantasy and this almost pull or this certainty that there's something about you that almost, again, they can't take their eyes off of you. There's something that just keeps calling them back in. It keeps pulling them back in for more. And it feels like you're just going about your business. You're just going about your life. If you're aware of this person already, you're not thinking of them in a romantic capacity. They may be given no indication whatsoever of like flirtation, that that's at all what they're interested in, that you have even made any kind of an impact upon them. Again, if it was sort of like goods or services that were provided, it feels that it was very much just like a business transaction, something that, you know, was very professional in the exchanges between the two of you, maybe very little that was spoken back and forth. It was just the order is put in, the good or the service is provided, they move on, you move on, they keep watching and keep being kind of drawn back to you, either very fascinated by what you've provided to them, what what they ordered and what was delivered. Again, if they've come back like for a second round, for example, or they've gotten something else and it's after a period of time, they're impressed by how your skills have increased. There are things that are almost, it feels like something about even the nature of your exchanges with each other. It's these little sort of clues and confirmations, a lot of synchronicities that they're really keeping to themselves at this point in time. And somebody who's in this deep place of almost soul searching, that it feels like a very significant, they feel in some kind of way, because again, it's like secret admirer. So this doesn't feel like somebody from your past returning. This feels like somebody very new who has been sparked or awakened by you in some manner. And they almost see that you're kind of like the missing piece to the puzzle that they've been looking for, that maybe they weren't even aware was kind of lacking in their life. You just somehow add to a measure of their existence, and there's a curiosity, a want to know more, a need to know more, but again, kind of exercising this self-restraint at this point in time, trying to take the practical approach, trying not to get swept away in these feelings, in these fantasies, in this very magnetic pull in your direction. So I'm going to read the letter now from your secret admirer and see what do they want to tell you right now, group 2. It's you, the one I have been dreaming of, here in the flesh, right before my eyes. Have we met somewhere before? Your essence is so familiar to me. I drink your energy up greedily every chance I get, and I'm sorry if this has inadvertently made you feel weary and guarded. I am coming into a state of readiness to offer you a reciprocal exchange, my life force for yours. I have searched the earth for someone like you, and like something from myth and ancient memory, here I have found you walking around in plain sight in the most unlikely of places. I feel protective over you. Is it too early to want to lay claim to you and for us to start to entertain the very real possibility that forever is finally here? My body is ignited into an electric tingle as you move through the triumphs of your day. I feel so close to you already. I believe that you sense me too out here, waiting to come forth and share with you my true name. On an ordinary day, not too far from here, I promise you I will speak. You give so much of yourself. Please let me be the one to teach you how to receive. Your joy is a gift to the world, and it is your light and the struggles you have bravely pressed through that have drawn me to you. So I'm going to get some initials, and this can be a first, middle, or last name, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. I've got S, H, Y, J, R, W, I, F, V, P, and Z. So those are your messages, and that is your channeled letter, group 2. I hope that everything resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. And I'm running a sale in my Etsy shop now through the end of the month of February. Everything's marked down 15%, so if you've been considering making a purchase or placing an order with me, now would be a great time to act upon that. I've also launched a second channel here on YouTube. It's called Lady of the Dawn Tarot, and there's a link in the description box as well as in the channel section of my page for that. The format there is a little different from here. I do pick a cards as well as general energy check-ins, but the topics that I cover are related to spirituality, wellness, ascension, and self-love. So if any of that sounds interesting, I invite you to check that channel out, and I thank you for your support there as well as for your continued support here on this channel. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 3. I chose this letter, which I will read in just a minute. I'm going to start with some tarot to get some clues about who your secret admirer is. Is this someone that you know? Are they a complete mystery to you at this point? Okay, so we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is mutable energy, Pisces, Gemini, Virgo, and Sagittarius. The World, which is fixed energy, Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio. Seven of Wands, which is fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Nine of Pentacles, which is earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. Three of Swords, which is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And the King of Wands, so more fire energy. So the Wheel of Fortune and the World are giving me this this feeling here that this person is in some way in your environment already. They may possibly be a coworker, somebody you know professionally, somebody you see or encounter as part of your daily routine and kind of maybe on the way to work, somebody that is part of some kind of an activity or a community that you do after work. Maybe this is something to do with like if you go to the gym or you take any kind of meditation classes, yoga classes, things like that. This person could be a participant in the class, a teacher in the class. They attend the same kind of like studio as you do. This can be somebody where if you live in like a big apartment complex, for example, this person could live in that apartment complex as well. So it's like a neighbor. You've seen them. There may have been sort of these little exchanges back and forth between the two of you. But this is somebody where you don't know very much about them on a personal level. They may be kind of private, sort of keep to themselves. They come across as maybe a little bit guarded or defensive. This may be somebody who comes across as a little bit almost like they're walking around with kind of a dark cloud over them. They feel very kind of discouraged, or like when you see them, the nature of kind of when you're encountering them. This may even have to do with like if they're working out or at the gym. When you see them, it's kind of like at the end of their workout routine where, you know, they've got those endorphins going, but at the same time, they're all just, you know, tired and achy and sweaty, and they're not looking their best. So they kind of like cower away or just sort of, you know, it's a very kind of brisk exchange between the two of you at this point in time. Definitely somebody who, you know, in this silence is acutely focused upon you, watching you from afar in a material sense. This doesn't feel to be an online person, somebody who's just kind of watching on social media, for example. This feels like somebody in your material world who is trying to build up the confidence. It feels like somebody who's ordinarily a very confident person. They may be a very attractive person. They may, you know, have no problem usually kind of making the first move, being very assertive. This can be somebody who works in some kind of public relations, something where they're dealing with people a lot, so they really don't have a problem approaching new people or starting up conversation. But when it comes to you, they fumble. There's a lot of disappointments. There may have even been kind of some awkward conversations between the two of you up to this point in time where it left you with a feeling of questioning. Maybe this is somebody where you even sense that there was some potential. There's like this mutual attraction between the two of you. You may have tried to initiate, you know, something outside of the normal realm of conversation, and they just were very kind of guarded and defensive, and it left you with a sense of uncertainty. Like maybe you were misreading the signs in some way. Maybe, you know, this person is just, you know, not feeling the same way, not interested. Maybe there's still like that idea of kind of the dark cloud. They're just sort of distracted, or, you know, kind of, it's almost giving this impression of like when you see them, it's just like a sigh of almost anxiety, almost, and like a look of dread that comes over their face, which is very confusing because it's so different maybe from how, as you had observed them, as you're approaching them, sort of the demeanor that they had. And it's just this sense of like overwhelm when they see you, to where you may be then kind of closed off to them, like, oh, I guess they don't like me, they don't feel the same way, they don't, you know, you might be kind of have your defenses up at this point in time. Like, does this person have some kind of problem with me? Are they, why are they so almost like standoffish kind of, or why is their whole kind of attitude changing, their whole sort of aura changing about them? This can also be something, though, on the flip side of that, where this is somebody who the impression that you get from them at the outside, it makes you kind of cautious of this person. They may have attempted to flirt with you at this point in time. Up to this point in time, they may have attempted to initiate conversation, kind of get the wheel turning between the two of you, and you may have been the one to kind of put up your guard against them. Something about like what you assume about this person, maybe something about their reputation, something that you have heard about them, or even just something about their outside appearance. Maybe this is somebody who, you're just based on the nature of kind of what you know about them, what they do for a living, something about like their physical appearance being an extremely sort of attractive person that you're wondering, are they running game on you? Are they just, is this just somebody who's like a Casanova type, who's kind of in and out of people's lives, and kind of like a player energy, that they may give off that impression, or you assume this about this person, or maybe somebody has told you something. This could be a jilted ex-partner of theirs, somebody who they rejected, that has then kind of in turn tried to kind of like spitefully sort of interfere with this person's efforts to move forward in love in another manner. So that's always a possibility here, where you've got some kind of an impression about this person that isn't exactly accurate. So if or even if you've heard nothing, it's something about like the way they carry themselves. Maybe this almost like it's feeling here like a larger than life personality with that King of Wands. There's something where you've misjudged them in some manner, or you've got a very distinct, almost like you feel that you can summarize this person just with one look. And so it's made you kind of resistant or hesitant to, really give them any kind of an opportunity, just sort of dismissing anything they have to say. Or again, this idea of normally they're very confident, but then when they're confronted with you, all of that changes, and it's almost this nervousness, this kind of anxiety that really just comes forth in their energy, which has made you feel very cautious as well. Like, what's the reasoning behind this? It feels like somebody that this is not you haven't just like freshly crossed paths with them. This feels like somebody who, kind of circles around your peripheral, or you've been aware of this person. You see them, or in some way you kind of in a roundabout way, you're interacting with them on a semi-regular or even like a daily basis perhaps, or like during the work week you're interacting with them, or on the weekends, and this has been going on for quite some time. So you're familiar with them in that sense. This is not just like a new person who showed up into a situation or circumstance. This can also be something where, if it's like in a roundabout way, where maybe they did have some kind of a situation with somebody else that really fell apart. Maybe this was a work relationship, or again, kind of like as rumors sort of spread, like gossip about, oh, this person was going out with so-and-so and that didn't work out, and that was kind of like it happened in the past, but you're aware maybe of both of this individual and the person, like the ex, or the somebody that things didn't work out with, or whatever that case may be. You're aware of both of those individuals, and so it's made you almost want to like put your guard up against this person, maybe out of respect for this other individual, or just not wanting to kind of involve yourself in that potential drama, because both of these individuals may be kind of part of the same sort of circle or community that you're a part of, maybe part of the workplace, part of a gym, part of some kind of shared community in some manner. Again, not online community. It feels like something where you're definitely like physically interfacing with this person, the secret admirer, or if there's kind of other people from their past that are involved, these people, you're also kind of familiar with them, or at least you would be able, someone's pointed these people out to you, like, oh, they were seeing that person at a period of time and they broke their heart, or it didn't end well. Something like that, where you've almost got an impression of this person that isn't necessarily accurate for who they are, or maybe it's something that, truly did happen, but it's in their past and they've kind of evolved and grown beyond that, but, you're not necessarily taking them very seriously at this point in time as like a viable option, nothing you'd want to get involved with, something that you just may see this person as kind of like a walking red flag in a lot of ways, but that it's almost based on just surface level or kind of hearsay or gossip gossip. It doesn't have to do with what has actually happened with them, between them and you, other than maybe kind of like conversations that didn't exactly go well. They sort of were, very anxious, fumbling over their words, putting off this kind of air of nervousness, or being very guarded towards you. And those subtle signals are almost what is causing you to sort of be a little bit hesitant and reserved about this individual. So I'm going to read the channeled letter from your secret admirer now and see what do they want to tell you, group 3. I have been giving you subtle signs and innuendos about wanting things between us to evolve into something more. There have been several occasions already when I came towards you, only to fumble and hesitate with the words of affection that wanted to be uttered. What must you think of me at this point? I am afraid I have given you the opposite impression of what I intended in my heart. I want to move past pleasantries and polite conversation, and for reasons which escape me, I feel so intimidated in your presence. The thrill of the chase is an understatement for how elusive the courage to open up to you has proven to be. You are a breath of fresh air in my ordinary reality. I make up excuses to sneak glances at you, and I want you to become so much more than just another guilty pleasure. My heart flutters whenever our eyes meet, and I am overcome by the thought of what a single kiss might do to me. I want to present myself in my most confident attire, and I want you to feel comfortable in giving me a chance to show you my vulnerable side as well. I try not to stare too long. I know you sense and are actively seeking where these waves of attention are coming from, but I can't help it. You are a wonder in motion. So I'm going to get some initials, and this can be a first, middle, or last name, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. I've got R, D, M, K, O, Y, N, and P. So those are your messages, and that is your channeled letter, group 3. I hope that everything resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I'm also running a sale now through the end of the month of February in my Etsy shop. Everything is marked down 15%, so if you've been considering making a purchase or placing an order with me, now would be a great time to act upon that. I've also launched a second channel here on YouTube. It's called Lady of the Dawn Tarot, and there's a link in the description box as well as in the channel section of my page for that. The format there is a little different from here. I do pick a cards as well as general energy check-ins, but the subject matters that I cover are related to ascension, spirituality, wellness, and self-love. So if any of that sounds interesting, I invite you to check that channel out. I thank you for your support over there, as well as for your continued support here on this channel. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.